Boobies, butts, vagina. Title of the podcast, this, Al.
Are you trying to lure an audience in, Jerry?
Well, I look at it this way. If you title the podcast Boobies, Butts, Vagina,
Yeah.
maybe more people will tune in.
Perhaps. I don't know what.
And we did talk about it.
I don't know what YouTube does these days about that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows, Jerry?
What's up, Al?
Oh, hi there.
Eddie, if you could start it from What's Up, Al, that would be great. No, of course not.
He would love to, but he can't do that, Jerry. It's already been recording. I was thinking recently about, going out to eat and things. And in the summer, places always ask, like, do you want to eat inside or outside?
Mm-hmm.
And even at home, I don't know. When you're at home, if you're on like today will be another nice day. Are you eating dinner outside or are you eating dinner inside?
No, the outside eating is more on the weekends.
Yeah.
And it also, to be fair, depends on the weather.
Yeah.
Like if it's like yesterday was hot as balls. I don't mind it, but it's hot. I'm not sitting out there sweating and eating. But if you're telling me it's 78 degrees, there's a nice little light breeze, I might go sit outside and eat, sure. But that's more a weekend thing for me, I would say.
Yeah. I'm no longer getting suckered into eating outside.
Okay.
Because I don't think it works either.
See, I like it depending upon the restaurant and the atmosphere.
Yeah. The problem in a restaurant is most of the time it's just the sidewalk in front of the restaurant, which is stupid.
Yeah. Oh, except in Red Bank where they close the road.
Yeah, I suppose, but I still feel like I'm paying to eat in your restaurant and you have me sitting outside on the sidewalk or in the middle of the street.
But by
in
choice.
A closed street. By choice, yeah. But it doesn't feel like, I'm like, why am I here if I'm not inside your restaurant?
Okay, I could see that take.
Now, if you have an outdoor area that's like really nice and like really set up and it's on the water or something, that I could get with. But this idea of just eating outside, like I'll eat outside on the Asbury Park boardwalk because it feels like something. I don't feel like I'm just sitting on like.
Right, but Mama's Italian restaurant in the middle of some no-name town, and they put you outside the opening. The front doors with 4 tables doesn't seem to make sense to you.
No. And the people are walking by on the sidewalks with dogs.
Well, that's what all you see around in New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, how about there's the one place right on the corner here by us. What's the name of I forget the name of it. It's the Westville, where they have tables up against the building.
Yeah.
The sidewalk and then more tables. So people are walking through where they're serving, where you're sitting. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's not relaxing to me. That's like not a night or like I'm paying to be in your restaurant and you have me on your sidewalk.
Have you ever chosen inside over outside and you were like the only ones inside?
Yeah.
See, that's sad.
Right. Then that's sad.
Yeah.
But I've also seen times when I've been inside and I look out and there's one sad couple outside. Like, wow, they like chose to be outside thinking
alone.
Maybe people would, or maybe when they went out there, people were finishing up.
Yeah.
And now no one else chose outside.
It is amazing. Atmosphere is everything.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's such a fine line because you're like, I want to choose a restaurant that has a crowd so that it feels like something's going on. But I don't want to wait for a table.
No.
And I also don't want to be the only one in there because then that doesn't feel like I'm in a like.
We went. Here's
special.
the perfect scenario for you. We went to. My wife had something done medically a couple of weeks ago. She was finally feeling a little bit better. We went out to dinner the other night. First time she really got out in a while, and we went to Barrel and Roost. In Middletown, Red Bank, whatever the hell they call it. Didn't have reservations, which usually I would never go there without them. But my feeling was it was 4th of July weekend. The shore is crazy. And when I looked on Open Table, they had plenty of reservations available. I'm like, I'm not getting a reservation. We'll go when we're ready. We showed up about 8 o'clock. The parking lot was very busy, but not as packed as normal. We walked in, asked for a table. They sat us down immediately, and the place was busy. It wasn't, again, not every single table was taken, but I would say 80% were. Perfect scenario.
Yeah, that's a good scenario. I don't like when people are walking by and looking at your food.
Yeah.
Like there's certain restaurants too, like when people are waiting for tables and you happen to be at a table nearby where people are waiting for tables, that's weird too. Like
right.
People are looking at you like, what did he order?
Ooh,
We
that
got
looks
this thing. Yeah,
delicious.
that looks. May I ask what you are having
Has
there?
anybody ever talked to you as they're walking
Yeah,
by? Oh, see,
yeah. I
that's
don't
not good.
like that.
That makes it a problem.
Yeah, I had one a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, at this Italian restaurant where the people were asking what we had ordered while we were sitting there with our meal. What is that? Is that on the menu?
Hmm, that's intrusive.
And Gina goes, "Do you want to try?"
Oh
Like she
god.
actually goes, "You want to try some?" And now, luckily,
She's
the
too
people said
friendly.
no.
What do you think their conversation was when they walked away? You believe that woman offered to
Yeah,
taste her food?
that was so nice. They may have seen it as very. It was vegetables that were put into a oven, like the pizza ovens,
Mhm.
the stone ovens,
Yeah.
vegetables that way. So when we got them to the table, this older woman next to us was very intrigued.
Wow.
I don't see this on the menu. Of course, it had some weird name, so I had to I
Right.
pointed that out to her on the menu.
Of course.
It was called something like chibati or something, and then under it, it says fire roasted vegetables.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm trying not to fall into that trap in the
Right.
summer dining. Is that if you have an outdoor area that seems special,
Yeah.
I'll take it. The boardwalk, because the boardwalk restaurants where you can dine outside, there's a separation. There's
Mhm.
like a barrier up between the boardwalk
Yep.
people and where you're sitting. I'm also uncomfortable, like if a homeless person comes by. I'm like, this feels weird,
Yeah, I know.
right? Like in a city,
They have no job, no money, no food, and you're sitting there.
flaunting it.
I know.
Here I am eating right on the street.
I don't know that I've ever eaten outside where that I mean, I guess Red Bank, theoretically, someone and I've eaten outside there a couple of times, and I do like it with the road closed on a nice night.
Yeah.
We've eaten outside a couple of times there. They have music playing. Like that to me is it's not quite, anywheresville, USA that we're talking about on the sidewalk. I don't mind that. I guess a homeless person could come up to you there, but I don't think anywhere else I've ever eaten outside that's really been a possibility. Because most places I've gone to, you got to go through the restaurant to get to the back patio or the back deck. And I don't think, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever encountered that.
Hmm. There's also certain restaurants that have a vibe inside that are not summery.
Yeah, sure.
Like to me, a lot of Italian restaurants
Yeah.
feel like a winter spot.
Yeah. There's nothing summery about an Italian restaurant.
The food feels heavy unless you're getting like a
No,
light pizza.
it is heavy. Doesn't feel heavy.
When you go in there, it's
Yeah.
darker colors.
Mhm.
That feels like, oh, it's not summer.
No, nothing about it is summer.
Yeah.
It's not light and airy.
It's not light and airy. Yeah.
Not at all.
And
You're 100% right
I
about
wonder if
that.
Italian restaurants take a hit in the summer.
I think a lot of indoor restaurants take a hit in the summer because so many people prefer to dine outside. Like, you ever go to Proving Ground at Atlantic Highlands?
No.
Like, that's a great example of a restaurant that is open, I believe, in the winter. Yeah, they are, 'cause I've been there. And you can go nice indoor restaurant, it's fine. But in the summertime, good luck getting in there because it's right on the water. Boats can pull up to it, and they got a gigantic deck area with an outdoor bar, nice lighting. It screams summer. Like, people wanna go there. They don't wanna go to Mama's Italian restaurant on a July 3rd night. I just don't
Right.
think they do.
Yeah.
So I would think while they still probably do okay, the numbers have to be down compared to the winter.
Yeah. Some of these restaurants, they just feel like a winter lodge inside.
Yeah, I could see that.
Dark woods.
Yep, yep.
And then eating outdoors at my own house feels weird because there's flies.
Well, also where you live, you're also overlooking people. I mean, the ocean's cool, but there are people walking by below you,
Yeah.
theoretically.
Even at Gina's house where you don't have that. It's just that like as soon as you bring food out there, flies are like
Yeah, we really
they're
don't
very
have that issue.
interested.
We don't have that issue.
They have these little fans that are supposedly chase flies away,
Okay.
but they're very strange looking. They have like long, very flexible
Mhm.
wings on the fan, and it just goes slowly, but supposedly that keeps the flies away.
Have you tried?
I haven't, but like when I go to my sister's house, she
A
has them
and it
out.
works.
I think so.
Growing up, mosquitoes were always an issue in the backyard, especially at night. So now, as an adult, in this house, I didn't do it in my previous house. I don't know why. We do have the backyard sprayed for mosquitoes. I gotta tell you, it has made a world. When I think about like sitting outside as a kid, or even in my other house, you once the sun started going down, It is you could sit out there all night.
Yeah.
Nothing. And we don't really get the flies either with the food.
No flies, no
I
mosquitoes.
don't know why, but we don't. No. Now, if you're going to tell me you're going to keep a bowl of, mayonnaise potato salad out for 2 hours, yes, I'm sure at some point. But if we're just out there for 20 minutes to eat, half hour to eat, no issue.
Then you're bringing all the condiments out there.
Yeah.
All the condiments got to come back out.
It's a whole industry of the condiment carrier.
Oh, condiment carrier.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We purchased, this was an interesting purchase.
Did you get the barbecue?
Yes. So this is what this is about.
Okay.
So I wanted to get a barbecue, a Weber grill. I wanted small one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like looking, it was 4th of July. I needed one on the actual 4th of July.
Right.
I was like, okay, where am I going on the 4th of July?
Right.
Could I go to Home Depot, Lowe's? They have them all out.
Yeah.
But it's more of a like, I don't want to drive all the way out there. So I went to a local hardware store,
Nice.
like local. They had one grill in the window.
And that was it.
When I bought it. They were so thrown off. I was like, here's a grill in the window. I would like that. They go, what?
They didn't have another one there for you?
No.
My gosh.
I actually took the grill in the window.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a Weber?
It was.
Mm.
Richard Lewis used to have a routine many, many years ago where he talked about, and this is true, like you'll go into like a drugstore and they'll have like some sort of major appliance that you'd be like, who's buying this at Walgreens?
Right.
And he used to have this bit where he wanted something and everyone in the store was like, oh my God, someone's aisle 6, someone's buying a blender.
You were the guy buying the barbecue in the window.
I was the guy buying the barbecue in the window.
That's funny.
But it was all put together.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was great.
That's how you buy a barbecue.
Yeah.
No assembly required.
Yeah. Because that could have ruined my...
And you do go gas or is it charcoal?
Gas.
All right, good for you.
I don't think I could figure out how to use charcoal. Like, how do you regulate the heat on a charcoal grill?
I don't know that you regulate it at all. I think you're just cooking over an open flame.
Oh, okay.
I think the way you regulate it is open shut, like I would guess.
And what's the big green egg do?
I don't know. Isn't that a smoker?
I'm not sure.
I've seen them. It might be a meat smoker.
What's a meat smoker?
Shut up, Al. It smokes your meat.
Because I've seen in Home Depot they have grills.
Yeah.
They have griddles.
Okay. Well, I want that Blackstone griddle.
Yeah,
grill. That I want.
They have smokers.
Yeah. Well, the smokers for like pulled pork and stuff.
And then they have the big green egg.
Yeah, I think the big green egg is a smoker.
I'm a smoker. Sure. I'm a toker.
No, so
I'm
maybe
a midnight joker.
So I put in big green egg grill. Maybe it is just here it is. Big green egg premium Kamado grill smoker outdoor cooker.
Oh, it does everything.
Yeah. That's what it says. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
You ever have a pizza oven in your backyard?
No,
that seems cool.
They are. They're also very expensive. My brother bought us a pizza maker about 2 or 3 years ago for Christmas, and it makes the most fabulous pizza. It really
it's like
does.
Stainless steel.
It is.
Like where do you set it up on outdoors or on your counter?
In the kitchen's fine. The problem is it makes one pizza at a time.
Right.
So one pizza is ready. I got to make 3 others. By the time the first person's done eating, I'm still haven't gotten the second one out of the oven. So it's problematic for a family.
Yeah.
If I was single, awesome. I don't know if I would ever buy pizza again, to be quite honest. The best crust, and you can fool around with the dough and everything and make it the way you want. But God, it cooks so nicely. But I do like the outdoor ones that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But they are very expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would use it enough.
Have you ever put a pizza on a regular outdoor?
Pizza this ass. What's that?
On a regular outdoor grill?
No.
You could do that.
I would need a pizza
stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I think
interesting.
maybe you could do it on the grates. You think, or it would fall through? You think?
I don't know that because the dough is so it's not firm until it gets cooked. Maybe you could start it in the oven and then bring it to the grill. But if the oven's on already, I would think you need the stone.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I made pizza on a pizza stone on the regular grill. Came out pretty good. I don't know why I didn't. I also think like pizza is like a wintry food.
It's not for us. It's every Friday, no matter when.
Yeah.
So, but again, I do understand that type of cheese and sauce and dough. It makes sense.
I'm going to proclaim this. Anything with red sauce is a winter food. That's my
Anything with
proclamation.
red
Yeah.
sauce.
Spaghetti, pasta,
Yeah.
pizza,
What about, all right. It's a
parms.
different type of red sauce. But what about shrimp and cocktail sauce?
That's a summer.
That's summertime.
That's a summer
But
one.
cocktail sauce isn't the red sauce you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cocktail sauce is a beautiful summer.
It is.
What do you call it?
Condiment.
Condiment.
Yes. Any other red sauce that I can think of that
Red
wouldn't?
sauce.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, all red sauces are
Because what else do you use red sauce
winter.
for other than Italian food? I'm
Yep.
sure there is something, but most of them are Parmesan or they're for pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Do you think they Parmesan things in Italy or no?
No,
Is that something Americans
I
did?
don't. I think it's an American thing. I really do. Now, might they grate real Parmesan cheese
sure.
over their food? Yes. But do I think they make it anywhere near the way we make it? No.
Or like where you take, it's so funny. We call it like chicken Parmesan.
Yeah.
But they're taking chicken and putting mozzarella cheese on it. They're not putting
Parmesan cheese.
Parmigiano
I know.
Reggiano cheese.
I know. I don't know. We just started doing that too. I told you Kim's into buying all this better food.
Yeah.
So we have started with the grading of the the expensive Parmesan cheese.
The one that says Parmesan Reggiano.
Yes.
That's the real one.
It's different. It tastes better.
Yeah.
It just does. Now it is more expensive. It's pretty good.
Next time I go to an Italian restaurant, I'm going to ask the young waitress who's going to have no idea. I'm going to say,
You're going to baffle her.
I'm going to say, this menu says chicken Parmesan. You would think Parmesan cheese, but you've come back with this mozzarella cheese. Could you ask the chef back there?
She's going to come back and say, I'm just making my money. I'm looking for a tip. Whatever.
When do you consider someone a cook or a chef?
The nicer the restaurant. And I think if the chef has an influence over the menu. Otherwise, like for instance, I wouldn't call someone at a box restaurant like a Fridays or an Applebee's. I wouldn't call them, even though they're cooking. I don't think they're a chef because I think they come in and they have to cook what they're told to cook. I think if a chef has influence over the menu, he's creating. And I think part of being a chef is creating dishes. Just my opinion.
I think that's fair. So diner, cook.
Yeah, I think so.
Applebee's, cook.
Yeah.
Jerry's Italian cuisines, chef.
I would think I'm looking for, like, if I was going to open a restaurant like that, I'm looking for a chef who, yeah, you're going to have a couple of staple meals. Every Italian restaurant has to have them. But I want the chef to fill out the menu with dishes he likes, he makes, that he creates. I think that's a big difference.
Do you believe a menu when they say something like homemade pasta? Or do you think it's box pastas?
I think it depends on the restaurant. I think, and I hate to stereotype, but I think I don't even know if it's the more expensive. I think the nicer restaurant likely is making their own pasta. It's not hard to do.
Well,
it's just time consuming.
Yeah. If they're making their own pasta, they will go out of their way to tell you.
Yeah.
Because that's a bigger deal.
And that would be a pretty crappy thing to imitate if you're ever caught, because no one would go there again.
I sometimes just think like, okay, maybe they had these menus made and they were like, we're going to do all homemade pastas.
Maybe.
Here. And then they got to a point where it's like, the homemade pasta too expensive. We're doing regular pasta, but our menus are already made.
All right. Is this homemade pasta? Let's say they realize that, boy, this is time consuming. And they're not making it themselves, but they're buying it from an Italian deli where it's clearly homemade and you see them making
Where they're making it at the deli?
You're buying homemade pasta. Would that qualify for you or no?
That would qualify.
Yeah, I think so too. As long as it's not ronzoni out of a box.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Have you ever tried the chickpea pasta?
I did try it once. It was terrible.
It was. I bought a box the other day. I can't bring myself to try it.
But I'll tell you what is good, and it's right next to the chickpea pasta, is the red lentil pasta.
Oh, yeah?
That's very good.
Okay. I like lentils, so
yeah,
that would make sense.
The red one, it's very good. It's got a lot of protein. There's a couple of clean ingredient ones.
All right.
The problem with the chickpea pasta, what I'm finding out about chickpeas, is that they're very heavily sprayed with the glyphosate.
Everything. It's just.
But chickpeas is a really bad one. Supposedly,
really,
yeah. That's why that pasta for me would be a no.
All right.
But the red lentil pasta is very good.
Well, I don't know that I'm going to return a $2.75
No.
box of pasta, but I will try the red lentil pasta.
You should try other pasta just to see how
You want me to have all the chemicals?
plus you're gonna be like, this isn't so great.
You know what? I could try it. That's fine. I did buy it. What the hell?
Yeah,
To me, put enough sauce on anything
agreed.
and cheese, it's fine. It won't be so bad.
You just Parmesan that, Jerry.
Your Parmesan.
Hey, the Parmesan.
Yes.
Look at it.
Funny. Thank you, by the way, for getting Jeff Rawson. I did enjoy that today.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did very much.
Yeah, he was good.
He's an interesting fellow.
He is.
So
He's lived quite a life.
yes, it was nice to have an in-studio guest too.
Yes.
To be quite honest,
Very strange to have an in-studio
Different.
guest in.
yeah, I said to Willie, one of the fastest shows I've ever done. Like start to finish, it felt like it went like in a blink.
It is a nice breakup if you have a guest at 8 o'clock.
Yes, I agree.
Because you do 2 hours guest.
It
Come
feels like a
back.
different show
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah, it's a quicker
No doubt.
type of thing.
So thank you.
You're welcome, Jerry. They were very easy to find. I told them that when I met Jeff and his assistant. I said, by the way, you guys were so easy to find. I said, Jerry said, I would like to have Jeff Ross in. I said, my immediate reaction is, oh, okay, let me try to track these guys down. I said, I tracked you down in 10 seconds. I Googled Jeffrey Ross. I clicked on your website. It
And
said contact for media. And here was this woman's email address.
Amazing.
It was so great.
Nice when
Why
things
does
work
everyone
out.
complicate things?
Because they can be. I don't know. I don't know.
It was so simple.
Good. I'm glad it worked. I'm really glad it worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up program. I did that with CeeLo this
Yes.
morning. I'll do it again with CeeLo because you're hosting tomorrow. Who are you hosting with tomorrow,
Chris
Jerry?
McMonagle.
McGonigal.
Yes. You're gonna get. He'll sing tomorrow.
I don't think I've ever was the producer on a show with Chris McMonagle.
Why would you have been?
I don't think I don't think
Because
I
he
was.
went from being part-time to overnight full-time.
Mhm.
So you would have never really crossed paths other than to
that'd be
see him
nice.
on your way out.
That would be nice to see him. We're not letting all his callers call in, though. I'm going to put a stop to that. Maybe I'd put Brett in Long Island on tomorrow just for fun.
I'm not taking that call.
Oh, you hear that, Brett? We're not taking your calls.
You know what? I would. I'm just joking.
Just have him yell at McMonagle.
Well, he'll yell
Although
at
he'll
me
yell at us
and
'cause
you
we're new.
and he'll even yell at Eddie.
We're
He yelled
new.
at Eddie one
Yeah.
night.
We're new targets.
Exactly. So whatever.
All right, you're out. You're out. Okay, so you and McMonagle Thursday and Friday.
This is what I'm told.
I am also told that Friday's a Peter Schwartz day.
That is correct. Warm-up show with Peter. Peter. Yes.
Peter. Are you with me, Peter?
But you know what?
Peter.
You'll be in a great mood though,
Oh,
because you'll be 4 hours away from vacation.
you're on Friday.
Yes.
Friday before vacation.
Yes. Nothing better.
Nothing better than that.
Nope.
All right. Warm up with me and CeeLo next. See ya.